Don't go anywhere. Figure out where we're going next week. Stay till the end.
Terry, one of the owners of Hatch Escapes, fell in love with escape rooms when he played Room Escape Live in West Hollywood. He believes that escape rooms have become a unique form of entertainment and an opportunity to detach from the digital world. Incredibly ambitious, he wants to push the boundaries of what an escape room really is and create more engaging and entertaining experiences. His focus on creative storytelling and immersion is apparent in the Lab Rat, which has left guests feeling speechless and excited for more. So let's find out what Hatch Escapes has up their sleeves in this episode of Find Your Escape.
Hey guys, welcome back to Find Your Escape. I am your host Amanda, and I am here with Terry, one of the owners of Hatch Escapes, and we are in LA, so we are going to jump right in and say hello to Terry and find out the story of this awesome room. So, how are you?
Really good. Thank you for coming. Glad you're here.
It was like a great ride. There was no traffic. It was really odd with all
That's very strange.
Yeah, with all the construction on the 405. I'm super excited. Please tell me, seriously, well, I have so many questions, but number one, how did you even remotely come up with such an excellent room? But before that, how did you become into being an owner of an escape room?
My dear friend Tommy Wallach and I, we've been friends since we were teenagers.
Awesome.
We met at NYU when we were 16 years old. We went for a summer high school writing program.
That is so cool.
And we were roommates.
Okay.
We made a mess. And
writing.
We were writing musical theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
Songs and scripts and that sort of thing. And we ended up becoming very close friends and were for many years. And we went very different ways. I went into the theater world for a long time, and then I ended up in the moving and storage business,
right.
like we do. And Tommy ended up becoming a pretty well-known young adult fiction writer.
Oh, wow.
And so he had a couple of books that were starting to get some Hollywood attention. So he was constantly coming out here. I'd moved back to LA. He was constantly coming out here, and a couple of summers ago, he dragged me to an escape room, actually Fox in a Box up in...
on Sunset? Oh, yeah. Awesome.
We did our first room, The Bunker.
Very cool room.
And we literally walked out of there, I mean truly, an hour in, walked out the front door, and we said, we're going to build these.
Yeah.
Because it was like all of our skill sets in one particular form.
Yes.
So we got started immediately. And we put together a pretty big team. There were 7 founders, of which 3 are still active.
Okay.
And our third active collaborator is a guy named James.
Okay.
As far as how did we come up with this room? So Tommy and I write.
Okay.
So before we decided to build this room, we had full scripts, for about 6 different rooms, 4 of which we pitched to the founders.
Awesome.
And this was one of the 4.
Okay.
And I had a bit of an obsession coming into this of trying to build a diegetic escape room.
Awesome.
Meaning a room where the reason that you're solving the puzzles is somehow part of the story. It makes sense within the world that you're solving puzzles.
Sure.
Not that I don't think that the other kind where puzzle service metaphor could work.
Yeah.
Just I really hadn't seen it yet, and I was kind of obsessed with it. So I thought, what's a real life escape experience that someone or something would want to do that hadn't been done before? Because we've done the prison escapes.
Yeah.
And how could I find a way to make it so that the puzzles actually made sense in the world? And so we thought, a fun twist on a prison escape would be, what if you were rats trying to escape from a laboratory? And that was interesting in and of itself. But then we thought, wouldn't it be even more interesting if you flipped it? And what if the rats were the scientists and the humans were the subject?
Oh my God.
And so, so this room has, giant rats, and everything is built to scales as though rats were the big things and the humans were the small things.
That's so cool.
And they were the scientists and we were the tests. And so
that is so awesome. That is so cool.
And so from there we got moving, partly because we were just excited about building giant water bottles. And, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of stuff. It was just fun to play with. So that's where it came from.
That is very cool. I'm so excited to, I have not played, and I'm dying to play this because I just want to make this work.
Yeah, careful. You're about to get wet.
So tell me what the mission is, since it's reversed. Mm-hmm. What is your mission in this room?
Okay, so the way it works is we are the test subjects of a rat grad student who wants to become Dr. Ratkenstein, but at the moment is just lowly Ratkenstein.
I'm dying already. I'm so excited. Okay.
And he is working on his dissertation about human intelligence. So he needs to put us through a series of tests to try to determine whether we are intelligent enough to actually help him with his dissertation. So he's sprinkled tests throughout this cage, plus ways to get out of this cage and do other tests so that we can prove our intelligence and help him to finish up his research. Obviously, while he's doing that and we're doing the work that he wants us to do, we're also trying to plot our own escape.
Oh, so cool.
Right? So we are test group D, his fourth group of test subjects.
Okay.
And test group A, B, and C have left little clues along the way of things that they figured out that might help us to get out of here.
Oh, that is so awesome. So does your hint system, just going off of what you said, does your hint system work differently?
Absolutely. So all of our hints are pre-recorded.
Okay.
We've got probably 100 hours worth of audio
Sure.
in the control room. Most of them come from Ratkenstein himself, but there are parts in the story where that doesn't make sense anymore, so they come from other places.
Sure.
So previous test subjects are also characters here who can make appearances.
Right.
And also, strangely, Ratkenstein's cell phone, he's got a Siri device on it, and so there's certain things that will come actually from his cell phone.
God. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so number one, I love that because I have been to a couple of escape rooms. Like the one that comes to mind right now is Trapped, and they have an incredible hint system, and I fell in love with it. So this is super awesome that you guys are trying to incorporate that as well. I love that type of hint system.
Thanks. We're trying to get the game master to be really more like a stage manager. We treat this a lot more like a theatrical show. I mean, all of our lights are theatrical lights that can change their color, that can change their brightness, and they're doing so constantly in relationship with the story.
That's so rad.
So we're really trying to get a new level of immersion. And you can't really see it right now. There's a giant white screen over here.
Yes.
This is a giant projectable. So all of the rest of the lab exists on the other side of this screen. So there's stuff that's going on out there that has to do with what's happening in here.
That is so rad.
And this is one of just 3 screens like this.
Oh, super cool. Okay. And then your escape room, is it 60 minutes like everybody else?
Not really. So
it looks like it could be more.
It's 60 minutes of playtime. There's a lot of story here, and we stop the clock when it's just story because we want you to pay attention.
Right. Rather than rushing through
So
it.
it ends up being about an hour 15 to complete it. We're really interested in telling a story more than anything else.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people come through here with the competitive notion of like trying to get the best time.
Right.
That's always seemed very strange to me because the better you do it in an escape room, the earlier you get out, the less your mileage or money has gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like experience the whole 60. Yeah.
And while I understand like the desire to escape out of an escape room, that makes sense in certain stories. I really want to build escape rooms that people want to escape into.
Right.
A place that they want to spend time.
Sure.
That they want to engage with and find a little.
And be like sad when it's over.
Yeah. Where it's more about like finding all the surprising Easter eggs that are hidden throughout the experience and really sinking your teeth into it.
That's so fun.
I hope that everybody spends an hour 15 in here, even my most experienced players.
Right, because of all the cool trinkets that you have.
That's the idea.
And then how many players are allowed to be in here?
Sure, so we do minimum 2.
Okay.
Which surprised me. This is a very large space.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of groups of 2 that come through, many of whom are very successful.
Okay.
So minimum of 2. On our website, we say maximum of 8, because
Right.
I think that's the best experience.
Sure.
And I like 8 people in this room. I like when it gets really frenzied and crazy.
Yeah.
Because, you're supposed to be running around like rodents, right?
Sure, right.
So,
You have a hamster wheel here. Have people ever...
so
I know that's a good question.
you do know. So obviously, if you're gonna build a rodent-like cage, you gotta have a giant water bottle.
Yes.
You gotta have a giant exercise wheel.
Right.
And of course, we struggle with this because if you Google human-sized exercise wheels, you see a lot of people ending up with casts. They're incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense when you walk on 4 legs than when you walk on 2 legs.
Right, correct.
So it was a major concern when we built the room. Like, how do you keep it safe?
Yeah.
And the ultimate answer is it's our final puzzle. So by the time that you get to it, you're interacting with it with such frenzy. You don't have time to think of getting on.
Right, of getting hurt.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I've literally never had anybody try, not a single time.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that
I would be
crazy?
the first to be like, I'm on this thing.
You'd think, but again, hopefully if we're doing our job right, and we're telling the story in such a way that the final moment really feels like the final moment.
And you're done. Yeah.
You just
That's
gotta
so
power
great.
through, and it works.
So are you guys planning on doing more rooms?
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, because please don't tell me this is like the end all be all. Like you have to have more.
So we actually own this building. This is a 6-story concrete building from 1927.
I'm already excited to what's coming out of your mouth.
It was originally a fur storage warehouse. So, you know, back in the 20s, when this was a very nice part of town,
Sure.
ladies would store their furs here during the summer. So we have all
I
the
didn't know
original
that.
fur vaults up there. And
Oh my God, I've never seen one before. That is so cool.
most of the floor plans are 4,000 square feet of unfinished space, just empty concrete that we can do anything we want to with, which is
Oh
very
my God.
exciting. So we think we can fit about 15 rooms of this size in here.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That is so great.
That's the goal. You know, ultimately, what I really love to do, and I'm not sure that this is actually the site for it, but my ultimate goal is I want to build the Disneyland of escape rooms. I want to build a place that you go to escape.
That is the best ever. Super cool. And then what can you or what do you want to see in the future? Because you are immersive. You are all about immersion, and this room is by far like top notch.
I care about that a lot.
Yeah.
But it's actually probably the second thing I care about.
Sure.
The most important thing I care about is the fact that we're telling really good stories.
Perfect.
And I don't just mean good setups.
Yeah.
The vast majority of escape rooms, when they say they have a story, what they actually mean is they have a setup.
Sure.
Right? There's a general world. There might be a couple of characters that you're aware of. You know what the stakes are, go.
Yeah.
And then everything that happens in the escape room really exists in like a metaphorical second. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's all-
yeah.
It's just it's a gesture in
Right.
the story as opposed to being the story itself. Stories have character, stories have stakes, but those characters themselves have desires. They're in conflict with yours.
Right.
Their stakes are different than yours, and things change. You're trying to do something, and stuff gets in the way, and obstacles that you didn't know were going to be there.
Life happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we want to tell those kinds of stories.
That's so
And
great.
it's where we're moving through the room is not a metaphorical second, but is the actual experience of that lived moment.
Right. Yeah.
And so what falls from that is immersion, right?
Right.
Because once you commit to that, then you really need to commit to actually being in the world.
Yeah.
And I care about that deeply too.
Sure.
But secondary to story. So I told you, we started with 6 scripts coming into here.
Yeah.
We're working on about 8 for this
That's
second room.
perfect.
And I think our philosophy is you overwrite and overwrite and overwrite and generate so much material
until you can
until you
pick-
find the one that just
Yeah.
screams that needs to be.
Yeah.
We're narrowing in on about 2 at this point.
Famous last question. What happens if they don't escape?
Okay, so going back to my obsession with story,
Right.
right? Stories don't end because the time is up,
Right.
right? Stories end because things happen within those stories.
Yeah.
So we have 3 separate endings to this room, right? And-
Fantastic.
And there's one that happens if indeed you just aren't making it through.
Sure.
Right? And the other 2 are based on their successes there are 2 others.
Yeah.
But the point is, we try to get everybody through, right?
That's great.
It's a complete story. So we want to get you to one of those 3 endings any which way
Right.
possible.
Right.
So we've got a lot of things we can do backstage to really move things along if
Yeah.
necessary, and to adjust things and to trigger things and that sort of thing. So I'd say our escape rate,
Right.
probably about 95%.
Good.
Right?
Awesome.
And everybody gets an ending, right?
Yeah.
Any which way, because we just don't believe in like clock buzzer end of story. I don't understand what happened to the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Stories
I
have a
totally get it.
beginning, a middle, and an ending.
Right.
You
So
have
what's
to
your
get to the
ending?
ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry, that was super awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. I loved sitting in a cage, oddly enough, but I really loved sitting with a very big water bottle. Guys, that was it for our episode of Find Your Escape. We will see you next time. Oh, wait, before we go, I almost forgot. Terry, if anyone wants to book your room, what's your website?
hatchescapes.com.
Awesome, and a phone number.
Oh, good luck. Find on the website.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
8 owners, it's a lot of people to
Lot of
try and,
people,
make
yeah.
decisions and stuff.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I think overall the fact that we were all good friends beforehand, and still are.
Do you guys flip a coin?
Yeah, I know, we just flip a
Rock, paper,
coin
scissors.
and Nick's right. No.
Yeah.